Okay, what's going on there, everyone, and welcome back to the video from the Demon Overlord. And today, guys, it won't be minis, but today we're going to be getting a little bit blaster heavy. Yep, the old helmet's on. You know what that means, guys. We're going into another foam flinging blaster. And I will bring up a little point on the specialness of this video a little later, but we'll get to that when we do. So what are we going to be talking about today, guys? Well, it's going to be about the Dino attack from Zuru. Now, the Dino attack from Zuru, I'm going to give a quick shout out to another of the YouTubers out there who does reviews on blasters and description videos and things, and that's going to be Captain Xavier. He's the first one who even kind of introduced me to the Zuru Dino attack series because he was doing a K26 video on it. So, Xavier, if you see this, man, props to you, man. Thanks for turning on this blaster that I am really looking forward to getting my hands on because I just got it open so we can review it. So I've not shot it or anything, but only thing I've done is picked it up in the hand, and boy, oh boy, we'll get to that in a minute. So this is from the X-Shot line, so it's not the XL or the XL series. I got it right. Actually, I usually call it wrong, which is the whole white series, which in truth, I do have a blaster from that series, which I have modified. It was from the Adventure Force line, but literally the same thing, and that was the old Destroyer. This is my modified version. I call it the Espresso Destroyer, because if you can't tell, it's got some lovely little red parts on it. So we can zoom in. There we go. And it's got some very lovely little bits. I kept the Adventure Force to show it's still Adventure Force. You know, I actually don't even know what it fires after I mucked with it. Give me 1 second. Let me just open my ammo box here and grab a quick dart just for fun. We'll use a, oh man, we'll use a neck. I hate using them, but whatever. Okay, shoots it's still 85 even after I messed with it, which is good because that means I didn't mess with any of the internals. All I did in that was I cut out the old spring, the old pegs that were in there so the dart would sit better and all that good stuff. And as you can see, full espresso with some red accents, a little bit of silver you only see in the light, but pretty cool. Now we're going to be using that as kind of a remembrance. This is a pullback prime. And why does that matter? Well, because the Zuru Striker, this is the Dino Attack Striker, and let's take a look at it. Ooh, I like what I'm looking at. I love that it's a red blaster. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Destroyer from Adventure Force was red, but I wasn't a big fan of the red to blue in it. This one, though, the red and blue are beautiful. I like this red and blue aesthetic. As you can see, it looks cool. We got some lovely slash marks here on little random spots. The blaster got these little nicks like it's been in battle. Here's the dart storage up top for holding darts, or the X-Shot storage. Now, we're going to quickly, before we get too much of the blaster, we're going to go over... Sorry, I actually stood up. That was surprising. I usually wouldn't do that. What it comes with. It does come with a lovely, and I mean lovely, 16 darts. And these are the Zuru shot darts, which if I can quickly grab one from the Adventure Force, it's sort of hard. They look very similar to my Adventure Force. I'm just grabbing at the greens, but let's see here. Man, I cannot. Why is it the one? There we go. As you can see, they're very similar to the other Adventure Force. They are literally the same thing. I think they're a little bit shorter. I'm not sure if that's going to make a difference, but we're going to find out. Because I mean, I'll shoot a couple of those through it because we're going to test some different ranges. Since I got the old Caldwell all set up here. Oh, my Caldwell chronograph. Now that I got it working with the lovely light kit for indooring, and now it's going to always work great. Oh, I can't wait. So let's see. Simple little packaging. Probably not the most effective since the Nerf does the whole, like, what do you call it? The little baggies to make it more environmentally friendly. So let's go over loading. As you can see down the front here, we have these two lovely chamber parts here. That's for loading. So you can put it on either side, and that allows you to do 2 at a time, which is not bad. And they do ironically keep the blue aesthetic going because they have blue to blue. So this blaster does hold a 6 rounds, so it is only a 6-round magazine, or a 6-round rotating chamber setup, which is not bad. I think a lot of people underestimate the value of those. I'm like, yeah, the Maverick had the same thing, and you know, the strong arms, all that still do it. The hammer shot has only 5, so it decreased. But let's do a quick talk of what this blaster was doing before I got it. Now, before I got it, I thought it looked pretty cool, because to me, this looks like an attacking dinosaur, like, world. Like, you're fighting dinosaurs with a blaster, it looks like. And now, if you look at the handle here, doesn't that kind of remind you of a hammer shot for some reason? This is going to bring up my first and probably only gripe. I'm hopefully going to have this gun when we use blast when we use it. Hopefully it's the only gripe. But like, I wish, for goodness of life, me they just made this a hammer shot with the hammer prime on the back. It would have been perfect. Because there is a dual pack of these, and I did get this from Amazon. I'll be going to price and ergonomics later, but you know, they do have a double pack that's available, and if they had the hammer prime, it would be perfect for dual wielding. It'd be perfect. You can see for size, it fits my adult hand very well. The trigger pull, not too bad. It's a little bit tough, but I like that, for instance. I like when I'm actually pulling on trigger, I feel it. And we got these cool little like graphics on the side here for like attention, danger, with like I don't know what that is, like DHSF, but I mean, like, it just looks kind of cool. It's got the danger stuff. It's got some bars here. We got like some bars designed to the inlay. It looks like it's been through a little bit of fighting, but it's cool. So let's test out the actual like dart holding, which the darts are clipping on without any issue. They just snap right in and they're pretty tough. We're going to shake this around a second once I get these all loaded in and put to a point where I think they're okay. We're going to give it a shake test, see if, like, you know, will it drop darts on the battlefield? Because nothing's worse than when you load up a holder in this situation, they fall off. So let's say they're in nice and tight. Okay. And as you notice, they didn't go anywhere. There's very little to no movement. Only the first one might have moved a little bit, but that might have actually just been me starting it that way. So as you can see, it's a solid hold for a very simple pop-in maneuver. You don't got to slide them, just pop right in. Now, I don't know if long-term would probably maybe slightly dent the darts on the side, so obviously, but you're not leaving it probably loaded all the time, so who cares? So, as you can see, it looks pretty cool when it's fully loaded up. We still have, like, what, 4 darts left over, so that's pretty cool. We get more than we need. Let's go with this, like, kind of neonish blue, this light neon blue, which looks really nice. And honestly, the barrel rotation, you can rotate yourself easily fine. There's no, like, stopping mechanism. Like, there's nothing to stop it. It is kind of like smart rotation, because once you prime it, naturally locks up and rotates it. There is no safety on this blaster. Kind of a shame. I always like having a safety on a blaster, but I mean, I guess if you look at the blast from the side and you don't see it primed, you know it's not going to fire. But I do like it. Now, we do get 2 different styles of X-Shot writing. On one side, we get this sort of like battle-scarred X-Shot, which, yeah, you do see it on the actual stickers. Make sure it's not like the paint's been chipped. And then on the other side, we actually have like an X-Shot engraved into the plastic, which is cool. Now, me, I do like these sort of giant slash marks on the side. If you can't see them well, my apologies. I'll try to move it close to the camera. You can see those slash marks. They don't really blend out. That's one of the shame parts, I think, here. We need a little bit more paint. Now, Zuru's done very well making sure there's a lot of decals on both sides. Like, we got the inlaid X-Shot here, the indented sort of, you know, put there. That's kind of cool. Will I probably modify this blaster? I'm probably going to give it a little bit of some paint to love for those scratch marks, the nick marks, probably these little, like, vent parts on top. And that might be it. I might not need to modify too much else, because otherwise it becomes a big project. And I don't need another big project on the old table. So you can look down the barrel, but you can't when it's fully like clipped with these holders. So if you're doing it for that reason, yeah, you're not going to be looking down the actual iron sights it technically has built. As you can see, we got one here. We got a little bit of like some down the actual holders. There's a little nib in there, or a little nub missing, but that's so you can look down it. So unless you actually have it empty, you're not really going to be looking down the blaster for like aiming, but it does feel comfortable to hold it with both hands. So putting this in your second hand, because these bars are down here, you get a better grip and you're not in the fingers into the blaster. Like you can hold it like this and be steady if you're not a steady shot. So we look at the Zuru. I mean, it does say do not aim for eyes and face. So yeah, don't be aiming this in your eyes. It did say on the box. Now I did unfortunately get it from Amazon. So it's just the standard cardboard box, not the actual like store box. So kind of a shame. This is one of a 2-part set. I don't know if they're going to come out with more. I really hope they do, because this is kind of cool, and I'd love like a primary to go with it. But there's the Claw Hunter, and it's got like this weird little rotating looking plastic piece on it. And it is also another pullback prime, which there's nothing wrong with that. I don't mind pullback primes, because if it's anything like its Destroyer-esque counterpart, considering they're very similar in size and such, you can see, and style, I mean, I'm probably not going to hate this thing. It's probably easy prime. I mean, like, that's easy prime. Make sure I don't accidentally fire my darts, because I don't want them going all over the place and losing them. It does have the rotation. Talked about that. Let me see if there's anything else it mentions. It does show like pictures of all the different like X-Shot packs you can get for darts. The Water Warfare series, the Chaos series, and then the Excel series being its main focus, where you have all the different rifles, shotguns, and snipers, and all that crap, and Gatling guns. But let's get to the actual firing. Why I have the chronograph set up while we're here. That was my bad. I fired that into the hole. There we go. 88. 83. 86. 86 again. So we got a little bit of some replication. I'm liking that. We're getting some steadiness. 88. Like, is anyone else slightly impressed? This blaster is almost hitting 90s right off the bat without any modifications at all done to it. Like, this would make me think I should modify this thing to put a maybe more powerful spring and put it in the hundreds range. Maybe that would make it slightly better. I don't know. maybe a comment down below whether I should, and maybe if it's worth the effort. I mean, honestly, that's a pretty hard hitter, and it's pretty accurate. It's hitting the little spot in the wall I'm aiming for behind this, so. 87. 87 again. 89. 87. 85 twice in a row. I just want to make sure that wasn't an error. So that's not bad. We're getting mid to high 80s. Probably could hit 90s in the once in a while. It did say up to 90 FPS on the box. So you know what? They're not lying. It's pretty accurate to what it actually shoots. So that's pretty good. Why don't we try shooting some other darts too and see if we can improve performance? So let's grab a couple of my darts here from the old box of darts. My old little ammo canister, I guess you call it. Do I even want to waste my time with Nerf elites? Well, we'd have to be fair, because if I don't, someone will probably go like, oh, did you try it with Nerf rounds? Well, I don't want to. At the same time, I don't trust elites because they go all over the place, and they're always a fun joy to pick up. But they seem to point out a little bit farther than the other blasters. Like I said, the darts were a little different in length. So I'm guessing it probably, but it still fits in there perfectly fine. I'm not really getting any issue with the fact that I'm using like elite darts for it, which is fine. That's another good factor, as well as not a problem, as I happen to have enough darts to do this. I need one more elite to make a full set, because we'll, go for a good little 6-shotter with this. We're not going to do the whole, 2 rounds load, but let's see what we get. 85. Ooh, 73. 75. Ooh, 70. 70 again. 75. So, okay. When it comes to, ironically, when I use elite darts, they don't like this blaster. Unsurprisingly, elite darts don't like to function with anything that isn't elite, so that's kind of a shame, but I mean, that's not really the main dart I like to use anyway, so it's not the end of the world. I'll say that. It's not the end of the world, because I don't only use elite darts. I actually like to use Adventure Force waffle darts, which are better, in my opinion, than anything elite does. So we're going to put a couple of the Zuru Adventure Force ones, which are slightly longer, just a small smidgen longer. And we'll just do a couple shots of those to see if there's any real difference, because let's find out. Make sure it's not an error. Okay, so when it comes to its fellow Adventure Force Zuru darts, 86 both times. That's not bad. It doesn't seem to matter whether you're using Adventure Force or the official Dino Hunter styled X-Shot darts. That's really cool. Now we're going to try some Busby darts, because why not? I use these Busbys in the monorail video, and they were actually pretty effective. I think it's because they're like slightly conical design, maybe is why, but you know what? We're going to try these out and see what they can do, because we're gonna give them a full 6 shoots and see what happens, because you know what, maybe Busby's darts are really good. I don't know. These weren't really all messing with glue, so let's see. 82. Ooh, we got a 66. Ooh, it dropped. 58. 78. 73. And a 64. Okay, with Busby's, we go all over the place. Got it. Maybe they're just really bad with the heads and they don't fly good. Maybe that's why. I don't know. So we're going to now go with the best of the long series darts there really are, that people always go to, and that is the waffle. Because A, they're affordable, and they're not like super duper expensive to the point where you are paying an arm and a leg like you would with Nerf, because Nerf just loves to do that to their people. They don't care. Yeah, I know. Nerf's probably going to be like, oh, you know what you're talking about. Psh, yeah, okay, we'll see. Let's go with the Awesome Adventure Force and see what we get there. Okay, got a 79. Not the best start off, but let's see. Another 79. Got an error for that one. Don't know why. Error again. What the heck's going on? Why am I getting errors? There we go. Ooh, 73. 75. Huh. Try a couple more Adventure Force to see if that's maybe like a hiccup. I do notice the Adventure Force do sit up a lot higher than the actual original darts they came with, so maybe that's what the problem is? I mean... Oops, I just realized I got a few in there, so... 1 second. 77. 73. And a duplicate 73. So it looks like with the awesomeness that the Adventure Force waffles are, it's not really that low. It did lower down to more of the elite par area since it's in the mid 70s to lowest 73. But I'm not really sure what to think of it. Could it be the blaster itself? Maybe it's the pegs that are in there. Those little like holding pegs, which I might go through the effort of taking this apart just to pull it out and get rid of those, because I noticed when I did that with my Destroyer, it became a little more consistent. But let's get over. So other than its shooting range, it looks like Zuru darts really do the best through here for performance. And based on where I was hitting in the wall behind, where I was actually having the sort of target up there, not that inaccurate. So that's a good sign that at least the Zuru darts can compete. I mean, the Adventure Force ones were really great grouping. The long darts, for some reason on this blaster, fired really weird from the Buzzbee, which is weird. They do better with their monorail blaster. The only other thought I can try is maybe let's try a few of the Adventure Force Pros. I just realized I had those, the Adventure Force Pro long darts. We'll just do a couple of those. See what we get. Ugh, okay. Once again, 79, 77, so not 80s. Huh. I don't know. But, I mean, honestly, though, this blaster is still really good. Let's go over the actual design featuring. We do have, like, the painted handle-esque style you would get with the Hammer Shot, for instance, if we're going to compare it to a famous blaster. The handle itself feels rougher. Like, there's actually striational lines there that make it feel like it's a wood texture. Almost like, you know, a false plastic wood. And it continues onto the tape. So it gives you a little bit more of, like, a matte feel instead of, like, a shiny, smooth plastic like you got up here for spots. So it's easier to grip, which is good. The grip is big enough that my hand fits on there pretty comfortably. I mean, like if I had to put the pinky under or whatever, it's not uncomfortable. We do have this little bit of what I like to call a, I'm thinking it's a prime hook, similar to what you would use with Destroy, or the, what was it? The Disruptors and all that stuff. They have those on top for double wielding. So maybe that goes into like the prime loop here and it pulls through easy for you. So you can go like click, click, and you can keep double wielding and not to put one down. So, I mean, aiming down the sights ain't that hard, but I really don't waste my time with that because I just have the natural, you know, put it to where I want it and I shoot. So, we're getting like close to 90 FPS. None of them broke 90, so that's kind of a shame. But, I mean, what can we say? That's, you know, it says up to 90, so I mean, like, at least it was fair in that assumption. 89. Close, but no cigar. But yeah, I bet it can probably hit 90s, you know, in that range. Still, it's outpacing anything the Elite really has. It's ironically hitting close to Elite 70 par with the Elite darts, and of course, those fly like crap out of here. They, you know, we all know Elite darts are garbage when it comes to actual accuracy, but let's go into the other parts. So, tactical ability of this thing. Well, it does have a nice dart holder up top, which is pretty cool. I mean, if you wanted to file them off or cut them off, you probably could put a type of attachment here. Since there are these little slots on the side of like the plastic piece where the dart holder is, so you probably could put a Picatinny attacher on there with like the tightening rods. Opening wise or modability, I bet there's probably good modability for this thing, since I did see Captain Xavier do that in his video with the K-26, and he upgraded the spring and all of that. So it does have modability, and being a screw open blaster still is really nice. You don't have any issues with like opening it and it breaks and falls apart, which is cool. I mean, I like the prime system. It's very easy, very simple. Any finger could easily pull this back and prime it. Doesn't matter. I love the details, the design features, the fact that it slightly swells out there instead of like just a line, like a freaking square edge. It's pretty cool. I love the battle damage looking stuff, like it's been through the ringer a little bit, like a little nicks and scrapes look to it. I really gotta say, I do like this blaster. It looks very impressive, and it does fire pretty impressively out of the box. I mean, like, first times, and it works great. So, price-wise, this was $9.99 when I got it on Amazon. They do have a double pack that I think comes at $18.99, so you'd save a couple bucks buying the two, which, if you wanted to go with a dual-wielding set of these, probably wouldn't be bad, since they probably have these hooks to help give them the prime back. If I had a second one, I would test that, but I don't have one. But yeah, it does also come with 16 of these awesome little Zuru darts that are pretty accurate, surprisingly, and then it comes with these awesome little targets. We come with these egg targets, so dinosaur eggs. And these are the raptor eggs because they have like the blue dinosaur in there. I'm assuming they're making it look like Blue the Raptor, but then they have the larger egg here for the T-Rex on it. And he's also got some blue accents with a green color. So he's more of that classic old school green colored T-Rex look that, you know, people move away from. The great thing about these eggs is they sit like, you know, the half, since they're a half egg. But they have these little clips so that if you want, you can actually turn them into an egg. Like you could have a full style egg just sitting there. And you could put stuff in there. Like you could probably, hold on, let me check something. If you could stash a dart in here, that'd be kind of cool if you wanted to. Which, okay, yeah, you could probably put like a couple of darts in here, a piece on each side. And I mean, like it looks like it'll hold like maybe 4. Try something here. Let's see how many we can get. Probably around like 6 darts, probably safely inside there. Like, I mean, if you then put the other egg on top of this and then you close it, let's see what happens just for fun. Oh yeah, you can have like an egg clip, or you know, you can always put something inside here for like capture the egg. You want to do a capture the flag sort of a stylus game for your players. Like, you know, hide the 2 eggs around, then the groups have to fight over them, and you know, you get hit, you drop the egg, and then they pick it up and take it. Once you get back to the base, you open it up, and it's like, oh, what does it count for? It's like, that's getting the point, you know what I mean, or something like that. That's pretty cool. I do like it. I like the designs. They're very simple, just stickers, but I like the eggs. They feel pretty solid too. Like, they're not like, I don't think like if I drop these, they're gonna break immediately. Like if I threw them on the ground super hard, that might dent them and break them, but they're pretty cool. As you can see, they'll sit perfectly fine. Like, they might move a little in the wind, but nothing like seriously unless you really hit them with a lot of wind. That's pretty cool. I mean, these are cool targets. I like that. I gotta admit, coming in 4 awesome little egg targets, 16 darts, and all of this for $9.99. Why are we buying from Nerf for any Springer pistol like this? We can get this good of a quality of firing up to 90 and probably into 90 for some of the rare shots, because it says up to 90 on the actual box. And it's just really interesting. Now, it does say on it, a dart range test winner. I mean, it does fire every brand I can think of for, like, the full-length darts. I mean, if I cut the pegs out of there, I could probably turn this into a half-dart blaster if I really want to modify it and do that, which, probably not. I like the full-length darts. You get those lovely waffles that work great with it. I mean, better than Elite and better than the Buzzbee. Slightly worse than Zuru, which is surprising to me. But still works pretty good. We're still getting decent numbers. I'd say decent numbers for an out-of-the-boxer. So would I recommend this? If you're looking for a good blaster, that would be good for like HVZ. Up to the higher range Dart Wars is a good, really good, accurate, good ranging sidearm too. Like, I'm not sitting far away from that wall. I'm hitting in the background, and that's pretty good. So, I mean, that's got to be at least 25 feet, so probably not that bad, but it's hitting like straight on almost, so it probably has a lot more footage it can get out there. I didn't see, it didn't actually have a range. I think it's like 27 meters, so geez, that's a pretty big meterage for this thing to shoot the range up. But I'm not going to take outside the range right now. It's too windy out. So, I mean, for a close-up, though, this would be great. Indoor Nerf Dart Warring, like indoor stadium, or, you know, HVZ if you're going to go up against some Zambies. I think this would be a really cool thing to go in there with and have some fun, because, I mean, it's got that cool aesthetic that would work just as fine for the zombies. It's really cool. I like it. I like the red aesthetic as, you know, being the red dragon as a symbol here. I mean, who doesn't like a nice, cool red blast, these cool blue aesthetics? It looks so cool. Feels great to hold. I think this is a definite win. Well done, Zuru. Well done. And I'm going to say that's all I got for you today, guys. But before we do leave, thank you for if you've been this long. Let's talk about what I'm talking about. So I have been told I should do a separate channel for kind of my rando review, like random aesthetical reviews that aren't based on my tabletopping hobby, for a separate channel. And I'm like, I'd consider it. But I want to leave it up to you guys in the audience, whether like a final nail in the coffin for sure, whether I have to decide or not. So if you want me to do that and make a separate channel specifically for Nerf, if you're there for mostly my Nerf stuff, and if you're there for not for my tabletopping stuff, maybe I'll make a second channel. You know, throw in the comments down below that, yeah, you should do that. It'd be a great idea. Or, no, I like where it is now. I mean, this will give me stuff to think about. And if you got any ideas for names that you think I should use, go ahead and throw those in there too. I always like more ideas and more things to, you know, more options to sort through and so I get that finalized point. Well, anyway, guys, if you have not done so already, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and make sure you put the notifications bell to all so that way you're not missing out on any of my stuff. And at some point, if I do a new channel, I would definitely have a video in this channel about if I do change over, so you can find my new channel for specifically Nerf stuff, or in this case, Dart War stuff. And if you want to comment down below of any questions, ideas, or things you think I should cover or do, go ahead, guys, throw them in there. I always take a read, listen, or answer back a question. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got for you. Get ready, soldiers. Hammer up, and bye-bye.